I ain't your boy, Stark.
Alright, that should do it. Won't be any Latverian air support bothering us on our way to Castle Doom now. We'll take it on foot and bring in Bravo team once we hit checkpoint 3.
On foot. You're kidding, right? Do you have any idea how little arch support I get in this outfit?
Put a sock in it, webhead.
Ow, socks make it worse, actually.
Alright, ladies, let's move, now! Bravo team, come in. Come in. Bravo, do you copy?
Nothing new to me so far. But Black Ops aren't really SOP for you boys, are they? How'd Fury get you?
Same way he got you two, I expect. Everyone owes that old warhorse favors, and he always calls them in sooner or later. Could be much worse than this.
Yeah, but don't you guys wonder, I mean, invading a foreign country? Like we're soldiers of fortune or something?
I've known Nick Fury a very long time, Spider-Man. We wouldn't be doing this without a good reason.
Oh, wringing your little hands over the poor Latverians, huh? You think they do the same for you?
Colonel Fury, what do you have for us?
Mr. President, one of our ongoing investigations into supervillains recently had a major break. We've always been aware that many of these criminals who run around in high-tech armor were getting their materials from an underground figure, Phineas Mason, aka the Tinkerer. But what we didn't realize until recently is that the Tinkerer himself is being supported by someone outside the country, specifically Lucia von Bardas, elected Prime Minister of Latveria. As you know, the link to a foreign power makes this, by definition, international terrorism. The evidence is right here, sir. We're under attack. Trust me, they've earned what's coming to them. Great. Here we go again.
Hey, Fury, where's that Bravo team you've been trying to reach?
Communication still jammed. Someone's gonna have to go round them up. And you just volunteered.
What? And leave all the fun to you girls? Bite me, Fury.
No time to argue, Shorty. Take West with you. Locate Bravo team and find another way into that castle.
You heard the man, Webhead. Let's move.
Yeah. Sheesh, respect.
I ain't here to fight you, Von Bardas. I'm here to make an example of you. This place is going down, along with your little operation. Should help deter anyone thinking along the same lines.
So much for your president's friendly words to me. Or does he even know you're here?
You got a simple choice, Toots. Either come with us quietly, or die when we turn this place into a big pile of Latverian bricks.
You'll pay for this, Nicholas Fury. I promise you that. Take them!
Things have been pretty quiet around here lately. I suppose we should have known it was too good to last.
Miss Marvel has been investigating an international gun-running ring in the city. A lead identified this Roosevelt Island construction site as a front for their operations. And last night she reported discovering unexpected tunnels running beneath it. This morning she failed to check in.
Carol can definitely take care of herself, but we'll need to follow up on this just in case. Let's start by investigating those tunnels.
Manhattan continues to reel after tonight's devastating terror attack. Inside sources are indicating that the terrorists may have been from Latveria. Furthermore, they claim last night's attack was in direct retaliation for a secret, unsanctioned shield assault on Castle Doom exactly 1 year ago. SHIELD Director Nicholas Fury, now wanted for questioning in connection with these claims, has disappeared. In his absence, Commander Maria Hill has been named Acting Director of SHIELD. Superheroes potentially linked to the Latverian mission have refused to comment, leaving the rest of us to wonder why this horrible tragedy had to happen.
You hear what they're saying about that mission in Latveria?
Calling me shocked, Steve. I have suspected you weren't sanctioned.
You have suspected? Nice of you to say so at the time.
Given a choice between Fury and the government, who are you gonna trust?
Tough call. That's why I didn't even ask you to make it.
So, thanks to you, all this is on our hands.
No, not on yours. The evidence is right here, sir. We're under attack.
Colonel Fury, since Dr. Doom's death, Lucia von Bardas has bent over backwards to mend the ties between America and Latveria. We got her elected. This year alone, we lent her country $72 million in aid.
Yes, sir. And it hurts to imagine what she's done with that money, knowing what we now know.
Thank you, Colonel.
I have a recommended response scenario for the
That won't be necessary.
Sir, if I may, this situation is sure to escalate.
We have a pleasant relationship with Lucia. We'll handle things diplomatically.
I kept you in the dark so that if something like this ever happened, your consciences would be clear. It's on me, and I'm taking the fall for this one.
You got that right.
Damn it, Stark. You think these things grow on trees?
I'm sure you've got plenty of backups, old man. You always do.
Enjoy your exile, Fury. Wherever you are. We'll just stay here and keep picking up the pieces.
Our worst fears seem to be coming to pass. Congress is debating a new bill, the Superhuman Registration Act. It would require all heroes to register with the government, whether they want to or not.
Which would mean the politicians get to tell us who the bad guys are. We need to make sure this thing doesn't happen.
To that end, we're heading down to Washington. I've been offered a chance to testify before a congressional subcommittee.
And I'm going to rally the people down there. We need to get a grassroots resistance movement going before the SRA can gain any momentum.
We want you to come along in case there's any trouble. We've got a Quinjet waiting to fly us down there. Let's go. We're coming up on DC, team, but the situation has radically changed during our flight, and not for the better. The city just came under attack by an unknown terrorist force. We're going to coordinate defense efforts with SHIELD. Buckle up, and be ready for anything.
And so, to answer your question, Mr. Senator, in spite of these recent events, I don't believe forcing superheroes to register with the government is the answer. This law would split the hero community right down the middle, with consequences I'm not sure any of us want to ponder.
Was that really your best shot?
Sneaking around doesn't become you, Steve.
Maybe I'll need the practice. Maybe we all will.
Don't be so melodramatic. This whole thing would affect you least of all. You're already deputized.
You almost sound like you agree with them. This Registration Act would tear down everything we've done, destroy a century-old tradition of...
I'm trying to save it, Steve. As much of it as I can, anyway. Don't you see where this is headed? All it's going to take is one more slip-up by anyone in a cape, and we'll be lucky if registration is the worst they do. They could just turn us all into criminals, hunt us all down.
No, they won't, Tony. Not in my country.
Now return to our special live episode of The New Warriors, coming to you straight from Stamford, Connecticut, where the Warriors have just been spotted by their supervillain quarry. Looks like it's on.
I've got Cold Heart, you guys. Hey, somebody snag Nitro. He's rabbiting.
Don't worry, Speedball. I'm on it. On your feet, Nitro, and don't bother trying any of your stupid exploding tricks.
Oh, baby, don't you even know? You're playing with the big boys now.
Reports now coming in from Stamford, Connecticut indicate a massive explosion in a residential neighborhood.
Just over 12 hours ago now, and preliminary casualties are said to be over 600. In Washington, rumblings on whether superhero reform should be brought to the table.
Following last week's devastating explosion, Congress has rushed through passage of the Superhuman Registration Act, with the president expected to sign it.
This is just completely insane, Hill. I won't do it.
I'm sorry, was it not clear I was giving you an order?
You're asking me to arrest people who risk their lives for this country every day.
No, I'm ordering you to obey the will of the American people, Captain. Either you help us bring them in, or we'll bring you in.
Weapons down, gentlemen. Or I...
Trank darts, now! Take him down! Take him down!
Son, if you want to stay conscious.
You idiot. We were trying to save lives.
Of all the people to go underground, Captain America. Now every superhero who disagrees with the act suddenly has a leader. Maybe we should hold off until...
That won't be necessary, Mr. President. Registration can go forward as planned. We'll take care of Captain America. I don't need to tell you that you've made the right choice. You're here. And that means you understand the reality of our situation. You know what we're up against. Who we're up against. We simply can't restore the public's faith in us, while Captain America and his recruits are still playing by the old rules.
S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to use their expanded authority to keep supervillain activity in check. That leaves us with responsibility for dealing with the rogue heroes.
We need to act decisively to end this fast. We have a few leads, and may be close to identifying one or more locations being used as hideouts by the rebels. Come back here later. By then, we should have something more solid.
Welcome to the Resistance. It's good to see there's still heroes like us willing to stand up for what's right. It's also encouraging to see a significant number of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents defecting to our side. They call themselves the White Star. Apparently in my honor. I can't tell you we're in for an easy time, though. Stark and S.H.I.E.L.D. have advanced technology and almost unlimited resources at their disposal.
Yeah, but none of that matters. What we got is more important.
Yes. We have the moral high ground. We know we're in the right. Our path to victory? Convince the public to repeal that law by remaining steadfast. And by showing everyone what it really means to be a hero.
We got a lot of operations in the works, so you can count on being asked to help out real soon.
Meantime, feel free to explore our command bunker. This abandoned Hydra storage facility is no Stark Tower, I know, but it'll hold up if S.H.I.E.L.D. comes knocking.
Captain America's people are equipping themselves for a war. We need to cut off their supply lines before they can fortify. We've been tracking some suspicious cargo entering the Jersey City shipyards. We believe it's headed for a hideout being set up by the unregistered heroes.
Our original hope was to catch Cap himself. But my money says Cable is behind this op. He must be establishing this facility to support Captain America wherever he's hiding. Expect strong resistance. Cap's managed to turn a number of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents to his cause. Apparently, they call themselves the White Star in his honor. And I'm sure he sent some of the unregistered heroes in for support.
Bishop will be running the show on the ground. If we can shut down this operation, we'll send a powerful message to Captain America and his followers.
Bad news. Our base in Jersey City has been discovered by S.H.I.E.L.D. Our people are under attack and need immediate support. Cable was in charge of setting up this operation, but we've lost contact with him. We need to recover weapons crucial to our movement and, more importantly, Protect the data Cable had compiled regarding our allies and other prospective base locations. From what we can tell, the base defenses are already compromised. Get there ASAP and hit those invading SHIELD forces from behind. Then get our people and our intel out of there.
Your capture of Cable, Hercules, and Spider-Woman a few weeks back seems to have put a serious crimp in Cap's plans. Thanks to all our hard work, more unregistered heroes and superpowered criminals are being rounded up every day. Of course, it's one thing to capture them, and quite another to make sure they stay that way.
As you may have heard, our massive new holding facility in the negative zone is now up and running. Codenamed Prison 42. It's a clean, safe, and totally secure detention center for unregistered superhumans. Access is possible only through a network of strictly controlled trans-dimensional portals, the first of which is situated deep in the Rikers Island prison.
We're still hoping this conflict can be resolved quickly, but in case that's not possible, Prison 42 will serve our cause well. We've built in multiple fail-safes to ensure that it's completely inescapable. It should give unregistered heroes good reason to reconsider their position.
We've already enjoyed some victories in this conflict, but we knew we were going to be in for a tough fight. And it looks like Stark and SHIELD are working overtime.
They've been rounding up unregistered heroes and criminals like there ain't no tomorrow. In fact, we hear they're running out of room to hold them all.
Intelligence obtained by Cable now indicates that the Pro-Reg forces have almost completed construction of a massive new detention facility in the negative zone. It appears that the only way to access this new prison is via a network of tightly guarded portals. Obviously, it sounds like a very secure facility.
Don't let that rattle you, though. More folks are joining our side every day, and there's no question we can win this thing.
Agreed. However, keeping our people out of that prison will be one of our top priorities going forward.
Despite our recent victories, the anti-registration movement continues to grow. SHIELD is too busy dealing with opportunistic supervillains to help us. So we've decided to bolster our ranks with some allies you might find surprising. There are dozens of superpowered criminals now being held in Prison 42. Collectively, they represent a formidable fighting force. Our goal is to harness that potential to help us win this war. Reed?
We recovered some highly advanced nanotech from the Latverian attack on New York, and have found a way to use it to control the behavior of higher mammals, including humans. We've injected nanites into the bloodstreams of a number of these incarcerated superfelons. The nanites, tiny machines as small as a red blood cell, situate themselves in the host nervous system. This forms an electronic network that we can wirelessly tap into, allowing us to remotely monitor and control these unpredictable but powerful new allies.
In addition to the behavior control system, there's also a failsafe. Using it, we can remotely render the host unconscious at any time.
The system has passed all preliminary trials, but now it's time for a field test, under real-world conditions.
That's where you come in. A number of unregistered heroes are about to be transferred to their new homes in Prison 42. You will protect their convoy, and once we feel the time is right, we'll deploy one of our nanite-controlled agents to assist you. If he gets out of line, we'll take care of it. Delivering these prisoners and proving out the nanite control system are two important steps to ending this war once and for all.
We just got word that a number of our captured friends are about to be transferred to the negative zone. They'll be sent there using a trans-dimensional portal, which we've discovered is located deep in the Rikers Island Penitentiary. But they must be transferred to Rikers first via convoy. Our best bet to keep our friends out of that prison is to never let them get there in the first place. So, we'll be hitting that convoy hard as it passes through Hell's Kitchen.
Unfortunately, there's a complication. We have it on good authority that Stark and SHIELD are bolstering their ranks with superpowered criminals. They're using some kind of nanite technology to control the behavior of these sociopaths.
Don't those reckless fools have any regard for the risks they're taking? The point is, we might run into these attack dogs during our rescue op. So watch your backs.
The convoy route is heavily defended. You'll need to clear out the anti-air emplacements, so our chopper can get a clear shot at the trucks. Then you can bust out our friends and get them to safety.
The nanite-controlled criminals we enlisted have made a huge difference in our struggle to both fight crime and deal with the unregistered heroes. We now have dozens of these agents in Prison 42, ready to support us at a moment's notice. The tide may be turning in our favor, but the longer this conflict drags on, the greater the chance of devastating repercussions. We intend to find a way to end this thing as quickly and cleanly as possible. Given what you've done for our side so far, we know you'll be a big part of that solution.
The increasingly desperate actions of the pro-Reg leadership make it clear our resistance movement is working. It's just a matter of time before public opinion turns firmly in our favor and the Registration Act becomes history. However, it's not over yet. Stark and S.H.I.E.L.D. have already proven they'll stop at nothing to try to break us. We must remain ready to face them at any moment, while also doing whatever we can to protect the public during this chaotic time.
This superpowered civil war has gone on for too long. It's time to finish it. And with any luck, we can do it without firing a shot. We're going to lure the anti-Reg forces to an unpopulated location by faking a major disaster. Once they arrive, we'll cut off any and all avenues of escape. Then, we'll be in a position to offer them one last chance to lay down their arms and register. If they refuse, we'll still have them trapped with nowhere to run. You'll help guard the perimeter. If things get ugly, make sure Cap and his crew don't escape.
We just received word of a major disaster at a chemical plant in New Jersey. Details are sketchy, but hundreds of workers may be trapped.
We've got to get those innocents out of danger.
Of course, but we're well aware this could be a trap set by our friends. That's why we'll be using Cloak to teleport us in. He can get us right back out if there's any trouble.
Okay, let's rescue those workers. Besides being the right thing to do, it might make it even more obvious why being a hero shouldn't be against the law.
How many trapped workers did the radio say?
Over 300. But something's weird. I'm not getting anything over my infonet. No panic signals, nothing.
What's wrong, Cable?
Cloak, get us out of here! It's a trap!
Of course it's a trap. How else were we gonna get you all in one place? Skybird 1, is the area fully cordoned?
Roger, perimeter sealed. No one's leaving the zone without our say-so.
Copy that. Stand by.
Stand by? You and S.H.I.E.L.D. going soft, Tony?
We didn't come here to arrest you, Cap. I talked S.H.I.E.L.D. into offering all of you a chance at amnesty.
You mean surrender? Thanks, but I think I'd rather take my chances.
Cap, please. You know how hard I tried to fight this. But that was before Stamford. The public doesn't want secret identities anymore. Registration is the only way to make them feel safe when we're around. Just give me a chance to tell you our plans for my 21st century overhaul.
You've got 5 minutes.
That's all I'll need. What the hell?
explosions. Including yourselves. No one saw what those mind-controlled freaks were trying to do, or that we tried to stop them. So it was up to me to save you.
All right, listen up. Tinkerer here has been trying to figure out who might be pulling the strings of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s nanite criminals when no one's looking.
Since I had some involvement in the original nanotechnology S.H.I.E.L.D. has converted for their use, I was optimistic that I could puzzle out the situation with the data already available. However, that has not proven to be the case. I have nothing more than conjecture at this point. In order to determine what's really happening, I will need to view the networking logs for S.H.I.E.L.D.'s nanite control grid. Unfortunately, their signal is highly encrypted. It could take years to break their code and directly access their servers.
But we don't have time for that, obviously. The shorter and quicker routes to physically transmit that data directly from their servers, which we've discovered are located in Rikers Island Penitentiary. So that's where you're headed. Now don't worry. I know trying to bust into that place on your own would be near impossible, since it also contains the portal to Stark's Negative Zone prison. But we got information that Captain America and his forces are about to stage a prison break to release their buddies from the Negative Zone. They'll have to smash through Rikers to get there. We'll take advantage by having you piggyback on their incursion. While they're driving toward the portal, you follow in their wake and get that data sent to us. Then we can figure out who the hell's grabbing control of these psychos and why. We got the transmission, and Tinkerer's done a quick analysis on the data. It doesn't look good.
We were concerned that an unknown megalomaniac might be overriding S.H.I.E.L.D.'s nanite control signals with intentions unknown. However, the truth is much stranger and potentially much more troubling. There is no secret mastermind pulling the strings of these criminals. The network that links their minds has become large and complex enough to emerge as its own intelligence. A neural net whose intellect grows each time they inject another host with the nanites.
The only reason this thing hasn't already spread like wildfire is because S.H.I.E.L.D. lets just a few of them out at a time.
Correct. If the entire group were released from lockdown, they could escape Prison 42 and quickly spread across the Earth like a techno-plague. Everyone would eventually become part of its collective consciousness.
We already saw they could override S.H.I.E.L.D. control. Wouldn't there be any way to stop them?
To determine that, I would need a pure, untainted sample of the nanite material. One that hasn't yet been injected into a host.
Okay, they must have some of that in their Negative Zone jailhouse. And we won't get a better chance to head in there and grab some of that stuff than right now, while the heroes are still beating the crap out of each other. I'm gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Sit tight till I arrive to help you out.
We'll never reach the jail cells at this rate.
Are those the conduits we saw in the schematics?
Yeah, the only exposed power cables for both the main systems and the backups.
Those get cut, and all the cells open up? Including S.H.I.E.L.D.'s remote control super criminals?
You got it. But the released prisoners might give S.H.I.E.L.D. more than they can handle, at least for a few minutes. Could help cover our escape.
Control, watch what you're doing with those prisoners. They just...
Swanson! Get those prisoners attacking the right targets!
We're trying, sir, but they're not responding.
The inhibitor transmissions aren't having any effect! Then smite their nanochains! Shut them down, now! No effect, Mr. Stark! The villains are completely out of control!
You don't say.
Looks like Fury was right about your nanite-injected slaves.
We had it under control until you busted in here and released them all.
Gentlemen, I suggest we focus on getting our people out of here alive.
You made it. Was Fury behind you?
Closed off from the other side.
What do you think it means? Did Fury detonate?
Step to one side, Captain. You and your friends here are under arrest.
For Pete's sake, Hill, these people need medical attention.
He's right. Lower your weapons and call in the medics.
No, Stark. I'm under direct orders from the President. The SRA dictates that these unregistered...
We're giving everyone temporary amnesty on my authority. At least until we figure out what just happened. If you have a problem with that, Commander Hill, you're going to have to take it up with all of us.
Get the medics down here.
So many lives apparently lost, and yet lost so that many more lives might be saved. We may not know the true fate of Nicholas Fury, but we do know he showed his willingness to sacrifice himself on behalf of us all. For him, and for the rest of the missing and presumed deceased, we ask Almighty God to watch over their souls. Amen.
In the span of just a few hours, the world has gone insane. The Nanite Collective's agents are swarming all over the globe, infecting key victims in an apparent bid to eliminate all serious resistance to their expansion.
Their movements seem methodical and well coordinated. They must have used Prison 42's portal system to move this fast. Worse, time is on their side. If we can't stamp this out quickly, it will grow to encompass all of humanity.
In the face of this new threat, the Registration Act has been temporarily suspended to allow us to work together.
We're deploying teams around the world, but the most explosive situation right now is in the African nation of Wakanda, which has reported a massive incursion into their capital city. Ruled by our friend T'Challa, also known as the Black Panther, Wakanda is a highly advanced country blessed with the world's only deposits of vibranium.
Your knowledge of the Nanite Collective makes you the best team to send into this combat zone. Do whatever it takes to help Black Panther defeat these invaders and regain control of his country. The fall of Stark Tower was just the beginning. Over the past few weeks, the Fold has aggressively ramped up its campaign to take over all of humanity. Many of our closest friends and allies remain unaccounted for. We have to assume they've been taken into the Fold.
It's no coincidence either. The Fold's primary targets are clearly superhumans. And thanks to the acquisition of Fury and his decades of intel, they've been able to make serious inroads in expanding the Collective's power base. Fortunately, Fury's knowledge of Wakanda isn't comprehensive, which is why we've been using Black Panther's palace as our temporary base of operations.
Fold forces were unable to retrieve Venom and Green Goblin after you defeated them. Using the pure nanite samples your team obtained from Prison 42, we've been able to cure these two criminals of their infection.
Venom and Goblin both claim a strong desire to help us stop the Fold. They're not the most trustworthy of allies, but frankly, we can't afford to turn them away. With the Fold growing exponentially, infecting entire populations at a time, it's becoming obvious we can't win a war of attrition against them. Their network seems to be the key. If we could only find a way to disrupt it. Unfortunately, they've clearly been taking steps to make that all but impossible.
Our best minds are working hard to devise a strategy to defeat the Fold before it becomes unstoppable. We'll let you know if and when we come up with anything solid.
Analysis of Fold technology retrieved after the liberation of Wakanda has revealed details about the Collective and how it's spreading. We are now aware of massive repeater towers being erected at secret locations around the globe, at an astonishing rate.
These heavily defended towers are clearly being built to extend the reach of their network. Like the internet, their grid is adaptive and seems highly resistant to being completely shut down. So trying to destroy the towers would be an inefficient use of our time and resources.
However, we might still have an ace in the hole. Our nanite stasis signal should still function, if we could only broadcast it on their network. Their encryption makes that impossible to do from the outside. But if we were able to take control of one of their repeater towers and send the signal from there, it just might work.
We've identified only one tower that is central enough to reach the entire fold before they could react.
If we were able to infiltrate this enemy base and send the shutdown signal, all members of the fold would be paralyzed, allowing us to round them up and cure them of the nanite infection.
It sounds simple, but won't be easy. Iceland was one of the first countries to be completely overtaken by the Collective. However, this may be our only shot at defeating the Fold. If we fail here, we'll have revealed our only trump card, and they won't give us another chance once they figure out what we're up to. We'll get as close to the tower as we can without attracting their attention. From there, we'll have to fight through their defenses, make our way into the base, and send out that signal.
Yeah, all right, Stretch. I can make it. Smart guy. But I'll take a shield nurse over him any day.
So how are you feeling?
How's it look like I'm feeling?
Could be a lot worse, all things considered. Everyone else who was infected is pretty much recovered, but the stuff that Tinker put in you was 10 times.
Yeah, I know. But believe me, I know. Listen, guys, about all this, I just wanted to,
You can stop there, Nick. There's plenty of blame to go around, on all sides.
And plenty of cleaning up yet to do.
Yeah, there's that. I know you'll put it right. Get things back to where they used to be.
I'm not sure things will ever be quite the same as they used to be.
No, but that doesn't mean they can't be good again.
And so, with the global battle against the Fold now won, thanks in large part to the combined efforts of the world's superheroes, Congress this week voted to amend the Superhuman Registration Act. The updated act allows superheroes to voluntarily register for training without revealing their secret identities to the government or being pressed into mandatory police service. Tony Stark, fresh from accepting his new position as commander of S.H.I.E.L.D., spoke earlier today at the Capitol building regarding the agency's new attitude toward superheroes.
It's too easy to think of superheroes as weapons, something to be deployed like an arm of the military.
And so, with the global battle against the Fold now won, thanks in large part to the combined efforts of the world's superheroes, Congress this week voted to overturn the Superhuman Registration Act. Additionally, all members of the anti-registration movement have been granted full amnesty by the president. Does this mean the country's superheroes can get back to doing what they do best? Former anti-reg movement leader Captain America, speaking earlier today at a Lincoln Memorial rally, said he hopes so.
During this conflict, nearly all of us got distracted from a hero's main responsibility, to help those who need it most.
You think I'm going down to some pampered punk like you?
This armor knows your next move before you do, Steve.
It's do or die. Fight!
Shield Slash! X-Factor!
Level
for civil war.